If we are to survive, we have to be the best. And things out there are changing fast. And as a matter of fact, in some main areas, we are no longer the undisputed leaders. There are niches where we can sit back and say we're still the undisputed leader. But if we sit back, I bet you soon somebody will come and disrupt us. What kind of atmosphere and culture do we need in this company in order to make a success of this? And for me, as an individual, to understand that emotionally I will do that, not because my boss tells me to, but because I have decided that I want to do this. I go from motivation to volition. I believe that one of the challenges for big companies like ourselves is that with the transparency through internet, you call it Internet of Things, but look at it as transparency. And the new technologies of automation and fine robotics. Can you imagine that it was unthinkable for us just a few years ago, 5 years ago, to think that we could mount a mid-sized spherical completely automatically? All of these things is doing it so that, now it's easy. The one who's most nimble, who's fastest, who applies these new technologies first, who is bold enough to change the business models first, is going to win. And the likelihood, if you look at history, that a smaller organization is doing it is high. How many times have disruptive technologies come out of a big organization compared to small startups? In SKF, what we need is to have a simple, nimble structure where decision-making is fast and where everybody, or as many as possible, have understood that you have to act. You have to take ownership. It's okay. It's not only permitted, but it's even asked of you. To be engaged, to take charge, to make things happen is a choice. I believe that we are all entrepreneurs. What we just have to do now is to get everybody engaged and understand that don't tell me that it can't be done. The competitor is not Harry Potter. They don't have a magic wand. If they can, so can we. And it goes for everybody, I think we have a role also as leaders. The other day I was listening to a young man. He had a startup company, about 100 people. They're doing really fine. It's about some kind of game they're producing. And he had, and I think he stole that from LinkedIn, he had a director of awesomeness in his company. It was a person whose only responsibility was to go around and say, are you fine? Do you have the tools to be successful within your area of responsibility? Do you feel energized? Do you have any obstacles? And if there was somebody saying, here I have a problem, immediately to put in the right remedy so that this person could be purposeful again. I thought that was a cool idea. So I actually made a card for myself. And next management meeting, I'm going to ask them if I'm allowed to keep it, the management group. Here it says, Alrik Danielson, Director of Awesomeness. And it doesn't mean that I'm awesome, not at all, but that I truly am committed to make my team feel awesome about working in SKF. And I would like us all to try to be directors of awesomeness. If we can do that, wow, we will succeed. Well, when we are growing, and we grow in market share, and we're earning good money, and all of this strategy change that we have done is bearing fruit, then I think we are where we should be. For me, this is end of chapter 1 in the change. We started reducing the staff functions, simplifying the organization. Now it's chapter 2. It's doing it. Thus the name Accelerate. It's time to do it, and it's now. Thank you.
Thank you, Alrik.
When these 300 managers go back to their teams, what challenges are they going to have to send these messages on to their team? What's the first thing you want them to do?
Well, I think leadership, it's all about taking ownership and believing in what you're actually about to do. So I think that if we have succeeded making these 300 people who are here truly understand that what we're up to, making SKF the undisputed leader in the business, is doable, and they have themselves accepted this challenge for themselves, it's going to be easy for them to actually convince the rest. You know, true leadership is about you first, starting with yourself, believing that this is possible and I'm going to do it.
And this cultural transformation has already been underway for a while, but what is it going to take? What are the keys to speeding it up and getting it across the entire organization?
Yeah. The more people we get engaged, who take ownership, start acting, making it happen now, the quicker we will reach our goals. And we have everything to make it happen. So it's just about ourselves now. We've got a support from our owners and our board, and we have all the technologies, we have the resources, we have the people. Now we just need to do it. And as soon as more people understand that we can, it will happen.
And how important is changing the inside out to outside in perspective in all this?
Oh, this is absolutely key. You know, it's all about the customer, right? Making something that you are unique in satisfying the customer's needs. If we think that we're improving based on an internal process, yes, we are better than we were yesterday, but we're still not as good as the competitor or what the customer is asking for us, we have still not understood. So it all starts out there with the outside-in perspective. And basically, if you think about it, we know.
How do you define a great leader?
Leadership is within us. It's a choice, you know, to take charge of our life or a particular situation. Some of us, we want to take bigger charge. Some of us wants to do it in a smaller scale. That's fine, as long as we understand that it's all about taking charge of our lives, of our situation at work, take ownership and make things happen. And that it's possible, you can. You know, you don't have to be disengaged and feel that you're a victim, I can't do this, I can't do this. It's all about never giving up.
So finally then, what's one last thing you want to say to all the people who can't be here with you here?
Please join in this journey to make SKF the undisputed leader in our business. And it can be done. If we engage as many as we can to take ownership and make things happen, we will be unbeatable. Believe me,